So I recently decided to learn Blender as a complete beginner. So I've always loved Disney style animation, cartoon animation, film animation, and always inspired to just try to learn it. So I recently found out about this free program called Blender. So I thought, let's give it a go and let's see what I can make in say 1 week. I decided to pace myself during the week because I wanted to retain the information and remember all the different tips and tools on Blender. So roughly 30 minutes to an hour each day, just to get through these tutorials, etc. And yeah, just see how far I can get really.
Through the donut tutorial about part 3, kind of wasn't retaining anything, so I just knew it wasn't going to be useful. So if I'm not retaining the information, then it's not going to be useful. So decided to check out some shorter tutorials, maybe they're more to the point. So I'm looking at Sky Polygon Runway. So I'm just going to go through this tutorial, see if it's good. If I feel like I'm not retaining information, then I'll just move on to the next one. Okay, so today is day 3 of me trying to learn Blender. So just taking it at a steady pace. I'm not rushing myself, but basically I'm just trying to go through this initial tutorial. I'm about halfway through now, and I've got a kind of a sushi thing here, and looks totally different from the YouTubes, but it works fine.
Yeah, so when I finished this tutorial, I was able to make like a very nice sushi kind of plate thing. So I was really happy with this. It kind of looked like a clean design. I was able to work with polygon shapes, extrusion, intrusion, and kind of color the material as well to make it look somewhat presentable to an audience. So yeah, I was really happy with this first version. So yeah,
Okay, so I've just found this really short Pikachu tutorial on Blender on YouTube. So I'm just gonna give this a go, see if it works. I'll try to follow it along. Alright, so I just tried to go through this tutorial today, and it's definitely not a beginner tutorial. So yeah, this is what my Pikachu looks like after going through that video, and I kind of just given up at this point.
So I had in my head like a really cool video, like maybe a YouTube short where I make an animated Pikachu and I'm like talking of the animated Pikachu. So I thought, how can I make a Pikachu in Blender? So I decided to give those tutorials a go. But it was really hard. It was definitely not a beginner tutorial. There's all these sculpting techniques I was not aware of. So I had to learn those first before actually attempting a Pikachu next time.
Here, which seems to be fairly popular, so I was just going to give this a go. It's not too long as well, so just give this a go. Alright, so I just finished part 1 of that tutorial, the face. So it was actually a pretty straightforward tutorial to learn, so managed to get a decent head and face, so I'm actually pretty happy with this.
So in week 1, I went through a couple of tutorials, basically going through the basics of polygons, face sculpting, had an attempt at Pikachu faces, made a sushi plate. So I'm pretty happy with the progress. Didn't overload myself with too much information, so I was able to kind of remember kind of the basics in Blender. So hopefully I can do more advanced tutorials or make my own stuff in the future.